Come spend New Year's Day with me as a work from home mom. So today I had the day off, but I still typically wake up early just because I like the mornings. They're quiet for me. And so I start off with my usual things. I brush my teeth and I get myself ready for the day. Now my bathroom is still dark because it's connected directly to our bedroom, and we have a barn door that connects both of the rooms. And so my husband was still sleeping at this point, and so our cats know how to open the barn door. So if I had the light on, it would be very, very bright. I finally turned on the light so I could see, brushing my hair. I don't usually have a lot of tangles, which is nice because I have really fine hair. And then, of course, it goes up into my usual ponytail, which is just easiest for me as a mom. And then I put on my under eye cream. This has helped with all of my dark circles, which I've had for years, hard to get rid of. And then my daily moisturizer. Dry skin during winter months is normal. This helps. And then I go get dressed. Now, typically I'd be wearing workout gear at this point, but because I had surgery on December 22nd, I can't work out yet. So I just put on my loungewear and then my deodorant, and then I put on some stuff for my nails because they're kind of they were brittle after using gel nail polish for a while. So this has been helping. And then I put on some lip butter because, again, dry lips during winter. Make my way out, say hi to one of my cats, and then I turn on our Christmas tree. Yes, it's still up. It will be coming down in a couple of days, most likely. And then I open up all the blinds because it makes my living room feel a little bit bigger. My husband will most likely come through and close them if the sun is shining, just because he is a mole. And as you can see, Washington State here, 6:30 in the morning, still very dark and very cold. This morning we had light freezing rain, and so it was pretty chilly in our house. Even though the thermostat was reading 68, I was still very cold. So as per usual during fall and winter here, I start a fire. And I typically start it early in the morning so that by the time the kids are waking up, our house, or our living room, I should say, is at least warming up enough for them. And it's become fairly easy for me to start. The first couple of times, I won't lie, when we first moved into this house, it was pretty difficult because I hadn't started one in a very long time. But I've kind of now mastered the best way to do it, and it doesn't take very long. I just prefer to have a fire going instead of electric heat. It feels a little bit more cozy, especially around the holidays. And then I make my way over to the living room, which we still have some lights in. So I plug them in because the kids still enjoy seeing them. But these will also be coming down when we take down the rest of our Christmas decorations. And then it's finally time for this mama to get her cup of coffee. Now, I don't drink coffee every day. I drink it maybe a couple times a week, usually only on the weekends, just because it makes me a little bit jittery, and it's really hard to do my job when I'm jittery. And so you'll see I use regular 2% milk. I don't use fat-free. I don't use whole milk. I don't use any creamers or any oat or almond milk. I like the taste of regular milk, and so that's what I'm doing. I put it in the microwave so it's warm. And then we don't use a coffee pot. We use an espresso machine like a lot of people do. Ours is just a cheap one that we found on Amazon just because I don't need a $300 espresso machine for my couple cups that I drink a week. I use this single shot, but it does come with a double shot, which my husband uses. And then here I'm just getting my kids' vitamins ready for the morning so that they can take them after breakfast and I don't have to worry about it. But in my coffee, I typically just use chocolate syrup, which I know isn't the greatest, but I like mochas. And then I use just regular cane sugar. There's me filling up my water, which I try and chug a lot before I drink coffee. It helps with the bloating. But my coffee is very simple. It is very easy to make. My husband can make it, which is great. Here I am chugging my water, like I said. About a teaspoon of chocolate syrup, and then I use a teaspoon and a half of regular sugar, and then that's it. I dump in my espresso, give a good mix, and it's ready for me to drink. And at this point, it's still pretty hot, so I usually wait a second, but here I'm just rinsing out the espresso shot catcher so that my husband can use it when he wakes up. And there's my taste test. And now I will make my way back out to the living room. Don't mind the chair. When we got our last cat, she was Kitten. And if you know, kittens a scratch. And so here I am just putting everything down on the table that's next to the chair, my water, my coffee. And then I walk over and I grab my blanket, which, as you can tell, I have kids, so my blankets are kind of thrown everywhere. They don't always get put back together correctly. And then I sit in the chair, which there's another one of my cats. That's cat number 3. And then I turn on my guilty pleasure show, which is Melrose Place. Don't judge. And then around 7 o'clock, my kids are able to come downstairs. My daughter is the first one, of course. And then my 2 boys come down at the same time because they share a room. And then they typically get their screens, which they play Roblox together for about an hour until breakfast. And then they don't get them again. That's how long it took me to finish my coffee. And then yesterday I made cinnamon rolls for breakfast. So that's what they asked for, along with a Go-Gurt. And they came back for seconds. So half of my cinnamon rolls are now gone. And that was my morning. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.